Hey guys, Susanna here with the fourth episode of Hey Bright TV. Today I want to talk about something that happened in the news today, and is this lady from Minnesota received a bill this week of $79 for 2 meals not consumed for a wedding she RSVP for, and she didn't go. She said that her mother was going to babysit her kids and she canceled last minute. That's why she couldn't go to the wedding. And I mean, things happen. So sorry for that. Maybe she should have mentioned something to somebody else close to the family, send a message, or at least say something after the wedding. Maybe she should have, or send a gift and in the note say, hey, I'm so sorry I couldn't go because so and so. Whatever the reason, sometimes there's simply no reason. Sometimes there are people that just RSVP'd and forget. And that's extremely annoying. And that probably shows you that person is not necessarily that close. They don't have an excuse to miss your wedding. But billing your guests, absolutely not. Being on a wedding was never your guest's decisions. In fact, being on a wedding is expensive for most guests. Sometimes, and most of the times, you have to either take a day off or leave early. You have to buy dress or shoes, and or you have to do your hair and makeup. You have to sometimes book 1 or 2 nights on a hotel, and if you're from another city, you have to travel, or even across country or to another country. You have to bring guests, and if you're closer to the family or to the couple, you will have more than one event. You will have engagement party and bridal party and bachelorette party and God knows how many parties. All of that adds money. And I didn't decide to get married. You did. And I am here to celebrate with you, but that adds money to me too. And that was not my choice. So that's the first thing you have to think about the guests. That's also something that they didn't choose. You decided to throw a party and to invest this amount of money per person because you wanted to have a once-in-a-lifetime amazing party with the people you care about celebrating. This lady had a legit excuse. I mean, if you don't have a babysitter last minute and it's a no kids wedding, what do you do? I mean, depending on the age of the kids, you simply can't go. That's one of the things that comes with being a mommy. But you should not bill people. If $80 is making a dent on your budget or on your honeymoon right now, you should have thought of it before inviting that amount of people or spending that much money on your wedding, period. That's the cost of doing business, let's call it. And we're calling this wedding a business this time. But that's exactly what it is. Sometimes when talking business, sometimes things break or get stolen, or UPS don't ship it, and that's not your customer's fault. You have to pay. That's cost of the business. In this case, sometimes people won't show up. Sometimes people will show up without RSVPing. And that's the cost of doing business. Yes, they RSVP'd and they confirmed they were coming. But it wasn't the night before. Usually this happens weeks in advance. I RSVP for a wedding in a month or in 3 weeks. I don't know what's going to happen the night before or the day of the wedding. Things happen, and most likely you'll have 1 or 2 people that won't show up, and you should count on that and not get upset about it. And if after your wedding, that week that you were supposed to be in your honeymoon and talking about how amazing it was and seeing pictures and just talking to people, you're thinking about $80 of 2 people that didn't show up, then there's so much more that you need to think about your relationship right now. Yes, you're going to be mad because $80 or $300 in case of 4 people missing or whatever the amount. I mean, it hurts. I mean, I could have an extremely nice wedding and or massage or whatever for my honeymoon with that extra money. But that is, again, cost of the business. You simply have to think of that. And you should not bill somebody that did not decide to make their reservation. They received an invitation and they meant to be there with you. So throw your tantrum, write their name 11 times and put a bad word next to it and then just burn it. Whatever you want to do, but just don't ever think of billing a guest. Let me know what you think about this. And I heard in another I think it was either a podcast or a radio show. I can't remember what it was. They were talking about it, and they had somebody that was thinking about doing the same thing, and she was so upset that 4 people didn't show up, and it was the equivalent to $300. And I guess it's more common than I thought. So I'd love to hear your thoughts. Let me know in the comments, share if you found something interesting, and I'll see you next time on Hey Bride TV.